Hey YouTube, this is Lisa in Post Edit. I didn't like my intro, so I'm going to redo it again. I'm going to take you on a day in the life that I had just recently, as a matter of fact, yesterday when I'm looking at this video and edit. It'll probably get posted for you guys a couple of weeks later. This will be probably the last video I get to film in the month of September, just because travel and it's going to be a little bit crazy. But I just was saying in my intro that I'm refilming that. I have refilmed this a day in a life video in a couple of different formats. One on my iPhone, which I'm currently filming on, and I'm also using the eyeglasses that you see right now are Ray-Ban Metas. I use that for some of the still photos. So without further ado, let's get kicked off to a day in a life with Lisa. All right, take care. This is I'll probably have to do this in voiceover, but it is September 6th, and it's the National Book Festival at the Washington, D.C. Convention Center. Just went through security, and now I'm heading down to the actual book festival itself. Really excited this year. I'm trying to get in to see V.E. Schwab talk today. Leigh Bardugo's here, but she's doing a children's book, so I think I'm going to skip that. And there's a couple other people that I'm going to try to check out throughout the day. So I'm going to take you on this journey and we'll see what we see. So I got here late, and the line to get in to see V.E. Schwab, as I just showed in the previous clip, is completely maxed out. I am walking around. Everybody is trying to see her and Nnedi Okorafor. I hear the line for capacity crowd. Probably won't get in to see this one. Holy cannoli. She spans like across, and they open up the wall dividers. But it's actually a really large size room. It's just they needed to give them the grand ballroom. These are big heavy hitters for fantasy fans and sci-fi. And they just didn't get enough space. And of course, I got here late because I was just being a little lazy this weekend. So chances are I probably won't get in. I'll probably have to go downstairs to the book line, buy the book, and actually stand in line for a book signing with V.E. Schwab afterwards. All right.
The characters, by the time the characters are on paper, if they misbehave, it's a bug, not a feature. Because it means I misunderstood something fundamental about the
fantasy, and also in discourse in the book world, whether love or hated, broaden or constrain the borders of writing in fantasy, and does it help cross-pollination?
I hate it. I just like full say. I just don't like anything which again makes the box smaller. And it feels like it's like ever trying to make the box smaller. And also for readers, yes, it's helping direct you to the most perfect thing that fits cleanly within the box that you want. But then if you're only within that box, how are you going to discover new things?
Yes.
Like that's my madness about it.
Yeah, that part, like the discovery. I think about when I was earning my PhD, there were classes that I had to take that I never would have wanted to take. I hated those classes. I hated them. And some of them were, when I took those classes, I learned things that I still use to this day. So sometimes like getting out of your comfort zone is really, it just leads you to places that you never would have discovered. You grow. And so like anything that kind of limits that, I'm really.
Hi there. So I lucked out. I was able to get in and hear kind of the end, almost at the Q&A section of Nnedi Okorafor and V.E. Schwab's book discussion. It was very interesting, actually. People had really good questions. So now I'm heading down to the bookstore because I do want to get in line and get their books and get them signed. So I'll be taking these escalators down and over into this section back here. You can see that this is book signings, book sales. It's always a mad zoo. And then over here they have like seating for like people who want to eat and hang out and just chill. And then way over there are the various book signing lines. So my goal right now is to get both Nnedi Okorafor's book, Death of an Author, and V.E. Schwab's book, the vampire one, which I can't remember, but I'll put up, and get them signed. And that'll be it. All right, thank you.
Susan, do you want to start, maybe?
Sure.
Okay.
Can people hear me okay? We self-clipped our mics, so that's an extra skill.
A young man, a stranger, comes to her and says, I think I'm your son. And from there, kind of two narratives unspool. And the origins of the story I know them quite precisely. I saw a headline in the New York Times that read, "A stranger told me he was my son." And I didn't click on the article because I already knew, just from reading the headline, that I wanted to write a novel from that.
Full morning, just got done eating something in downtown DC. Heading to my final book talk. This one is going to feature Shannon Chakraborty, who did The Adventures of Anima Al Safari. I will put something probably over here so that you can see that. I read that book last year. It was very good. I think she's doing this co-reading with Joe Abercrombie. I don't read him, but I hear he's very good. So I'm looking forward to this. And so we're going to enter the final read for me for the day.
How are they doing right now in this building? I wanted to get started. There's many fans of both of yours here, right?
Thank you, sir.
Because he wants to hear you talk. I understand why. I actually started reading your books. They're very engaging, and they actually have a lot of similar themes. So I noticed humor, history, strong female characters, religion, redemption, mothers, teamwork, and there's honestly like really good. Is that where it came from?
Well,
Probably not.
Shannon wrote a very ridiculously over-researched book. I wrote a ridiculously under-researched book. So they're a very good compliment to each other, perhaps. I basically had one idea, and that wasn't even my idea, Tolkien's idea. And I thought I would write my version of Lord of the Rings. And then I did that.
That's just as ambitious as,
Yeah, but having done that, I was then left.
destroying my mental peace while trying to figure out what the decking on 11th century vessels would have looked like. But that's what it came from. I really wanted to write something that felt like a love letter to this period in history that I was so enamored with. And a lot of the reason I like it is because this is a period of time where we have a lot of the writings of normal people. We have travelogues, we have merchant letters, we have people griping that they have to pay this amount to their in-laws.
Thank you so much for clicking on the video that you just saw. As you can tell, it was a day in the life video. The National Book Festival was fantastic. I really had a really good time. Albeit, I will do some things different next year, like bring a Willie suitcase or a chair. Because if you do book signings, like I said in my little capture, it took like 90 minutes to get through the line, unless you're right there at the first of the line. I saw a lot of people with really large, substantial backpacks. I saw a lot of people utilizing rolling carts so that they could stack and store all the books and things that they needed for the festival for that day. But this is the conclusion of the video, and I really do appreciate you guys checking out my channel. If you're a first-time subscriber or first time coming to my channel, thank you for hitting the play button. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for checking out the channel and coming back. Here are the books that I bought and the autograph cover, the inlay papers. The end papers are fantastic on Nini Okafor's Death of Author book. And here's my signed copy, which I was, as you can tell, very happy to get after waiting so long. Now, to that extent, Nindi Okafor and V.E. Schwab, their lines were really, really, really long. And both of them agreed to stay until past the hour mark to make sure all the fans that were in line actually got to get a signed copy. So shout out to both authors for actually staying longer than the prescribed time, because they could have said, okay, we've done our hour, we've got to go. I was hoping that V. Schwab was going to be in the area for a little bit longer so I could get a signed copy of hers. Unfortunately, I was not able to go from one line to the next line. They really had to cut it off, and if they made an exception for me, other people would have probably squabbled, although I don't think they would have, because literally her line stopped. They stopped her line probably with a half an hour still. I waited an hour and 30 minutes for my signing, so it was past the subscribed time. So any late stragglers, they would have probably pushed away, but I get why they did it, because they just had to stop it. Otherwise, anybody who did straggle probably wouldn't have did it. But I did get V. Schwab's Bury My Bones in the Midnight Soil, which I'm really looking forward to, and Nindi Okafor's Death of an Author. I will review these. People have been talking about V. Schwab already, but I will review this one when I get closer. It'll probably be towards the end of the year. But I do want to say thank you guys for staying with me in a day in the life of, going to the National Book Festival. Until next time, take care. Bye.